Yo, what's good guys, welcome back to another video where today we'll be speaking about the game week 11 matches. As usual, we will be predicting them as well, so let's get started right away. Wolves versus Southampton. This game is gonna be probably two of the worst teams in the league facing off against each other, so let's get started with Wolves. They are struggling quite hard so far. They have not won a single match so far this season. They said dead last in 20th place. It's rough times for them at this current moment. And the last time they played Crystal Palace, and they managed to get a 2-2 draw against them, which is alright, but need to do a lot better in my opinion. Onto Southampton, they're doing not too good as well. They sit right above Wolves in 19th place. Although their last game went a lot better, they played Everton and beat them 1-0, and Armstrong, being the goal scorer, is usually the main goal scorer for them. He's the one who gets probably the most goals, and let's see how this game honestly goes. My prediction is going to be a 1-1 draw between the two. Now we have West Ham versus Everton. This should be quite a good game, so let's get started with West Ham. They're not doing as good as we expected this season. So many signings made by them, but they have not made an impact yet. Now their last game was a huge surprise, I'm not gonna lie. They lost 3-0 to Nottingham Forest, which is pretty crazy, and it's not going too good for Lopetegui so far at West Ham. On to Everton. They seem to be doing not too bad, although they are 16th place, which is close to the relegation zone. Their last game was a rough one. They played Southampton, and they actually managed to lose that game 1-0. I did not see that coming at all, and they're a team that get loads of draws, to be fair. So maybe another draw could happen here potentially, but I went with a 2-1 win for West Ham. Moving on to Brentford versus Bournemouth. This game is going to be a very good one, so let's get started with Brentford. They seem to be in decent form this season, a lot better in my opinion than last season as well, and Buemo has been very good so far for Brentford. They currently sit in 12th place, which is pretty decent. In their last game they played Fulham, and I had a feeling it would be tight, and well, they conceded 2 goals in the last few minutes to actually lose that game. And onto Bournemouth, they are looking very good in my opinion. Crazy how they have beat Arsenal and Man City. Their last game was against City, where they won 2-1, which is a huge win, and Semenyo has been one of the standout players for them for Bournemouth. Now, very good winger, and he's being looked at by many clubs. Now my prediction is going to be a 3-1 win for Bournemouth. Now we have Crystal Palace versus Fulham. This could potentially be a solid game, so let's get started with Crystal Palace. They have not had the best start to the season so far. Their past few games have been getting better. I would say their last game they drew against Wolves 2-2. Before that they managed to beat Spurs 1-0, which is a huge result. Mateta seems to be gaining his form slowly once again. And onto Fulham, they have been doing not too bad, doing a bit better than last season at this moment. They're actually sitting in 9th place in the table. Their last game was crazy, beating Brentford 2-1, and Harry Wilson got a brace late into the game to win it. And my prediction is going to be a 2-1 win for Fulham. Now we got Brighton versus Man City. This has potential to be a very good match, so let's get started with Brighton. Seems like they are having a struggle in their recent matches. Overall though, this season I think they have been pretty good. Their last game was against Liverpool, and we know Liverpool are top of the league, so that's a tough one. They lost that game 2-1 to Liverpool. Karioglu, the only goal scorer, and Brighton I do see getting like top 7 at the end of the season. Onto Man City, we know how dangerous these guys are. As we all know, they are missing Rodri, who is so key. There's a reason he won the Ballon d'Or this year, and Haaland is still there to score the goals. And their last game was a massive surprise, where they lost 2-1 to Bournemouth. And my prediction is going to be a 2-2 draw between the two. Now moving on to Liverpool versus Aston Villa. This is going to be such a good game. So let's get started with Liverpool. They're looking super good this season. Obviously under a new manager, Arne Slot. Salah is having quite a good season once again, and Konate got injured in their last match, so that could be a huge blow if they miss him for a few months. And at this current moment, they sit top of the league. Onto Aston Villa. Their form recently has not been the best. They started their season off very well, but it's gone a bit downhill at this moment, and their last game they actually got smashed 4-1 by Spurs. I did not see that coming at all, and I'm sure they could bounce back in this match against Liverpool, but I think Liverpool are going to win this match 2-1. Now Man United versus Leicester. This could be quite a interesting game, so let's get started with Manchester United. United have been doing not too bad recently. They obviously sacked Ten Hag, so now Van Nistelrooy is the manager who has taken over until Ruben Amorim, who obviously is the manager of Sporting. He will come in as the new manager, and Rashford seems like he is finding his form slowly once again, and Mazraoui was very impressive in that last match. They played Chelsea in their last match and they drew 1-1. Onto Leicester. They have been doing not too good recently. Obviously newly promoted team, but they have been in the Premier League before. But Vardy continues to score goals in the Premier League. Last game they played Ipswich and they drew 1-1. They really need to pick up their performances soon because it's not really looking too good. Now my prediction is going to be a 2-0 win for Manchester United. Moving on to Nottingham Forest versus Newcastle. This will be a very good match, so let's get started with Nottingham Forest. They've been doing very well. They're actually sat third place in the league right now, which is pretty crazy. Chris Wood is scoring lots of goals. He is on absolute fire. They managed to beat West Ham 3-0 in their last game, and I mean, it's a huge surprise from them this season. Onto Newcastle. They've been doing quite decent as well this season. Their recent form has not been the best, but in their last game they did beat Arsenal 1-0, and they only managed to concede one shot on target as well. Pretty crazy good performance defensively, and Isak scored a fantastic header. Very good cross from Gordon as well. My prediction is going to be a 2-1 win for Nottingham Forest. Moving on to Tottenham versus Ipswich. I'm sure we know which way this game is going, so let's get started with Tottenham. Their form this season has been a bit on and off. Solanke has been doing quite well. In their last game he bagged 2 goals, and in their last game, as I mentioned before, they played Aston Villa and they beat them 4-1. So maybe this is where they will pick up their form and turn it around. Onto Ipswich. They have been struggling in the Premier League. Ipswich do not have a win yet in this season. It's been a rough one for them adapting to the Premier League. In their last game they played Leicester, and in that match they drew and they got another red card. So hopefully they start winning soon, because I've got a lot of friends who support this team over in England. So my prediction is going to be a 3-1 win for Tottenham. Now Chelsea versus Arsenal, one of the biggest games this week. Let's get started with Chelsea. They have been doing quite alright this season. They actually stand in 4th place in the table. Palmer obviously having a good season once again, although I would say he did go missing a bit against Man United. They probably had a plan to close him off a bit, but they drew that game 1-1 to United. Onto Arsenal. It is rough times for Arsenal right now, honestly. Creatively we are struggling to create chances and even struggling to score as well. Our last game was against Newcastle, which we lost 1-0, and we are missing Odegaard, Timber and Calafiori massively, but Odegaard is back in the Champions League squad, so maybe he will be back playing in the team very soon, which is gonna benefit us massively because he has creativity and his created chances. We miss that a lot. Now my prediction is gonna be a 1-1 draw between the two. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy the video. Don't forget to drop a like, comment down below all your predictions for these games and I will check them out. And don't forget to subscribe as well, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.